Okay, today we're in the greenhouse because I want to do a very brief little lesson on something I just decided to try this year, and that's seed snails. And you may have seen these before. A lot of people on YouTube are putting up videos about these. I think this has been popular for about a year, but I've never tried it before. And it's simply a way of saving space and saving a lot of soil while doing your seed sowing, either as winter sowing or in a greenhouse or outside. So what I'm going to do, what you're going to need is some sort of plastic. It could be bubble wrap, it could be heavy plastic. In this case, I'm using these feed sacks, which are made of a strong plastic sort of woven material. You're going to need some moistened soil. Make it so that it's pretty moist, because you'll see why when I start doing this. So what you will want to do, you'll be wanting to cut your plastic in strips. I'm using about 6 inches by, I think, 12. Mine are about maybe 20 inches long. You can make them longer or wider depending on what kind of seed you're planting. If you're planting something that needs deep roots, such as sweet peas, I would go at least the 6 inches. If it's some kind of tiny little thing, such as larkspur poppies, snapdragons, I don't think you need to go quite so deep. But I'm sort of sticking with the same configuration here by cutting my plastic first, and then we're going to go from there. I'm just guessing. They don't have to be perfect by any means, because when I'm done, they're not going to be very pretty. But they seem to work really well for people, so I wanted to give this a try, because you can do it so quickly. And when you have hundreds and hundreds of seeds to plant, you'll want to do it quickly. If you're doing a really big seed, like say a sunflower, I would go a little deeper here. Now, I've seen people rolling up really tiny ones and really big ones, so why not experiment? That's what I'm doing. I'm experimenting. And as things go along, I will report back to you to see how I did. And you do the same. You do the same with the rest of us if you give this a try. So I've got a whole bunch of these now. Some of them are little, some of them are wide. And we're going to try many different sizes here. So this is the routine. You've got your moistened potting soil, your potting mix, and that potting mix is nothing special. It's got little chunks in it and everything, just like the good earth. And I'm going to take my strip of plastic here, which is an old feed sack piece of, and I'm using like one, there's a little weed in there, 2, 3 handfuls of this moistened soil. And then I'm going to sort of spread it out. I'm not too picky about it. I just want to leave a little space on the top and on the bottom. And it's not even by any means, but it will even out as I roll this. So I'm going to start rolling from this end as tightly, just very tightly. And as I do, you can see that the soil moves toward the top and the bottom. It should all roll out so that the soil is even all the way around this coil. And then it's going to spread out the back here. You're going to pull it away. And then you're going to fasten it with, I found that the easiest thing is a rubber band or 2. Just fasten it up like that. This isn't seed starting mix. It's nothing special. It's just regular old potting mix. I'm going to sort of push the soil in with my fingers. And then wherever I didn't get any, I'm just going to pop some more in, the top and the bottom. Mostly the top. That's the most important thing, because this is a pretty long piece of potting soil. And unless you're doing something really deep-rooted, which is what I'm going to do peas in here, sweet peas. You don't really have to go all the way to the bottom. You don't want too much missing, but just take another handful of soil, throw it in there. In the meantime, I'm just going to fill it up at the top here as best as I can. And as you can see, that's got chunks of wood in it and everything. I know I've done everything from sifting soil and getting the coconut core and all that other. But you know what? Little tiny seeds, they grow right in the earth. And the earth is not perfectly sifted and fine like sand. It's got all kinds of chunks and debris in it. So really, I don't think it's going to matter. Find out, won't we? I've never done this before. People seem to be having good success with it, though. So that's it. Now I'm going to take it carefully, like that. There's my seed snail. Look, there's a lot of soil in there, but a lot less soil than if I were using a tray. And it takes no time at all to fill this up. So I'm hoping that this is going to be very successful. I'm going to try these a couple different ways. These are my winter sowing bins. So they have drainage holes in the bottom, and they have a top with holes on that so that the water can come in. I'm going to try some of these as winter sowing, although it seems like it's a little late for winter sowing. I hope not. It's almost March, and I meant to do this a long time ago. But I'm going to do some of them like that. I'll do some of them just sitting in a tray of water, maybe in the greenhouse, and maybe I'll even pop some of them outside. And we'll just see which methods work and which ones don't. Now I'm going to take my peas, and I'm going to put all my different sweet peas in here, and you're going to find out that you can get a lot of seed in each one of these. So I'm going to mark these. These are purple peas. Purple sweet pea, purple mix. This is the purple mix. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. My next are Spencer heirloom sweet peas, Spencer ruffled. And you know what? These did get soaked because I left them outside and it rained. And so this package is completely wet. So when I open it up, I'm not sure what I'm going to find. I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe some of them have sprouted already. We'll see. I don't think so. Oh no, but some of them are moldy. That's not good. Uh-oh. Well, anyway, you can see that some of them have broken the hard shell, so that's a good thing. So we'll go ahead and put the little Spencer ruffled peas in here, even the ones with mold. And I'm putting them fairly close together. 2, 3, 19, 20, and 21. Okay, so here's another packet. This is Queen of the Night, and this also is a wet packet because this was also outside when it started to rain, and I didn't bring them in. I forgot. But here's the cool thing about these. Some of these actually have sprouted in the pack. So we're ahead of the game. Okay, I've popped on my lid. As you can see, it has holes in the top. We'll just leave this out in the open garden. We still have another month with cold weather, so I think we'll be okay with winter sowing. Peas do like a period of cold. That's why I wish I'd gotten them in earlier. But I'm going to tape this around the edges and just put it in all out on the ground in the potager. Now I've done the peas. I'm going to try one that's a little bit smaller here because I want to put some snapdragon seeds in here, and those are much, much smaller. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to just do it pretty tight. Roll it up, and as you roll it up, the soil moves both to the front, to the bottom, and the top. Move it away from the side. take your rubber band. Should have had these out. Or a piece of string or a piece of tape. And wrap it up together like that. So you can see this one is smaller than the pea ones that I made. And then I squish in the soil in so that it doesn't fall out all over the place. These are going to be snapdragons, so they're not going to have this really long root like a pea would, so I'm not going to go all the way to the bottom on this. But I am going to make sure that the top, I'm going to make sure that I have soil all throughout the top. And then I'm going to take my little snapdragon seeds, or your poppies or whatever. I'm not doing poppies in here because I would do poppies directly into the soil. In fact, I should have done that when it snowed. They would have liked that snow. Okay. You don't need to be covered. Tiny little seeds. And let's see, what have I got? I have got so many seeds to do, I cannot even believe it. I feel like I'm so behind. I have too many projects. Let's see. How about black prints? Ooh, no. Tall deluxe. Tall deluxe. Ooh, look at that. Beautiful. Take my gloves off for this one. These are so tiny. It's ridiculous. Oh gosh, see, they're already gathered up here on the top. That's very bothersome. Golly. Oh, snapdragon seeds. Look at that. Just gonna sprinkle them in. I imagine that I've gotten quite a few in there. Much more than I probably need. Now, what is the advantage of doing this, according to those who have been doing it, is number one, you're saving space. If you don't have a whole lot of room for lots and lots of pots or trays, you're saving a lot of space. And another thing is that you can get a lot more seeds in one of these. You are putting a lot more seed in this than you would, say, a tray with 12 little compartments where you could put maybe 24 seeds in there. I've probably got 30 or 40 seeds in here. And I might have to thin them out. But also, once they start growing and they're ready to transplant, you just unroll this right there and you just gently remove the plant and pop it right in the ground. Go watch some of the videos on how to do this, because I only have what I'm doing right here. I don't have any results. This is my first time trying it. So please go look up Seed Snails and you will learn a lot more than you will from me today. But I just wanted you to see this, and why don't you give this a try and we'll all compare notes when all is said and done. This is going to take me many days because I have so many seeds to do. And I'll be doing a lot of winter sowing trays, and I'll be doing a lot of greenhouse trays and all that. So I just wanted to give you a chance to see this method. Well, here are my little coils ready for seeds. These trays, I had done these a month ago. And actually, I don't think they're doing that great. I'm just now starting to see some tiny, tiny penstemons coming up here. And a lot of them got moldy. Need some vermiculite in there, I think. In fact, it wouldn't be a bad idea to put vermiculite on the top of all these once you get the seeds in. So, look at this. The daffodils are coming up all over the place. Here's gorgeous Lady Estella. Hello, Adela. Hello, beautiful girl. She's always with me. I tried some bigger ones. I used plastic this time and bubble wrap. You can also take your potting soil bags and cut those up. So all you're doing is recycling the plastic that you already have, and you can reuse them the next year. The larger ones like this, I'm going to try sunflowers and maybe zinnias in. I put them in the pots just to keep them together. These are going to go in my winter sowing bins, which have drainage holes in the bottom, and they also have a top with holes for the rain to get in, because it's just now February 28th, and we'll still be getting some cold weather here. Some of these I will just put in the greenhouse in a regular tray, a water tray, and some will go in the porch. We'll see what works best. Now, what you want to do is water from the top if you're just going to keep them out in a tray, not a winter sowing tray. Water from the top, and then when they germinate, start watering from the bottom. All right, we'll see how this all works out, and we'll get back to it. Now, I just wanted to create this short gardening video for you because in our next video, which will just be in a few days, we're going to do something special. I am going to teach you a particular art form called schnitt, also known as simply paper cutting. And these are just a few examples of some of the things I'm going to show you. We're going to have a paper cutting lesson, and I think you're going to enjoy it because it can be done by absolutely anybody using scissors and blades and paper. That's all you need. So we'll see you next time. From Hopalong Hollow, this is Jerry. Bye-bye.